Hello everyone, Burb here. Kitasan Black is releasing in a few hours with the first anniversary, and upon her release, the state of Uma Musume is changed forever. Because we have Johnny Uma Musume, Johnny Uma Musume II, Johnny Uma Musume II Episode 11, Johnny Uma Musume Cinderella Grey, and now, finally, John Uma Musume III. The trilogy is finally complete. So, the banner. We don't really have to talk about it too much. You're getting 60 free pulls. She comes alongside Mambo in the first anniversary. If she's your Oshi, she's a very strong horse for long races, as well as a decent frontrunner inherit. The only problem with it is that long CMs don't happen very often, but she is still usable in mediums as well. So, with that, Harikite Ittou, which of course is Japanese for here's a bunch of speed and power. Her aptitudes, she's particularly a long front runner horse, but she is usable in mediums as well, and you can stretch her into mile or short. So those Oshi players of you that are Kitasan Black Oshi players, which are a lot of you, you can run her in any distance. Her aptitudes are not that hard to do, and you can also stretch her into pace or late surger if you truly desire, but her kit is kind of built around being a front runner. You can technically do lucky pace, but you're even losing front runner skills when you do that. So turf track runner, specifically in the long, front runner is where she dominates. You can run her in mediums pretty well, and miles she's okay, and short she's okay. She just is a little bit weaker, right? Her stat bonuses has an incredible 20% speed, 10% stamina. One of the best for long CMs because you're able to drop down to 2 speed cards pretty easily, and this allows a second stamina card for ease of use. And of course, you're getting stamina bonus. But the miles and medium tracks, a lot of times you're going to be able to pretty much use this to go a 2-2-2 build. If you have a very strong deck, again, making new tracks going to, it's kind of messed up my builds because I don't exactly know what's going to happen, but I feel like you're going to be able to do in miles a 2 power, 2 wit, 2 speed deck and be just fine and get like max speed, max power, max wit. Like, what's there not to like? On the free to play side, you probably just, try to get your wit really high by having 3 free to play wit cards, and then you borrow Super Creek to try to hit the stat requirements. And for you can Guts max this character because of the 20% speed bonus, it's going to really help you. So you just get the speed bonus Guts cards with a solo speed card and the nice wit cards. For longs, you can just run the 2-2 with stamina because you're getting bonuses on the speed button and the stamina button. There's not really a reason not to. If you're free to play, you probably will end up running 2 stamina cards while, borrowing Super Creek. And if you've been playing this game for quite a while and have a lot of good cards, you basically want to run the 2 best wet cards in the game, 2 speed cards that are very, very good, Super Creek, and then a skill card. So I just put a second stamina card here for Escape Artist, but 50-50, but, she's pretty good and solid in terms of stat generation. 2 things to know. 1, you can't run Kitasan Black on Kitasan, that's why there's no Kitasan in this build. And 2, if you had noticed, there is no Mahono Bourbon Wit, which is because she comes with taking the lead, so you have no need to run a, quote-unquote bad wit card. You can just run another stat stick because you have the skill that she gets it anyway. So 2 very strong things about this character is that she doesn't need the frontrunner wit card. So you have a free open wit slot. Her ultimate victory chair. Moderately increased velocity when positioned towards the front on the 3rd corner in the second half of the race, or kick forward hard when towards the front on the backstretch late race. This is basically saying there's 2 possible conditions you can do. The first one is if you're halfway through the race or more on corner 3 in second or first position, you get a speed buff. Otherwise, if there's a backstretch, which is on long CMs in particular, and you're in second or first, you also get an acceleration component. We're going to go through them, don't worry. So if you're halfway through the race or further, so this is the Pisces Cup, the 50% mark is roughly around here. If you're halfway through the race, and on corner number 3, these corners are all numbered, so 3, 4, 1, 2, and because it's halfway through the race, it will never proc on the first instance of 3 and 4 because it is before the 50% mark. You will get a speed bonus right here if you're in second or first place. This is an ultimate where if you satisfy all 3 conditions, it'll proc on the first timing possible, okay? The competing condition is that if you are in the late race and there is a backstretch, every single track has a stands, and on this track in particular, it is this stretch. So straight front type equals 2 means that this is the backstretch. If these two overlap, you will have a acceleration ultimate instead. So if you're in second place while you turn into the late race on this backstretch, you will get an acceleration skill on perfect timing, and that is the strength of Kitasan Black in this upcoming CM. The thing is that because there are two competing conditions, if you're not in second place immediately upon this and you actually get into the corner, you're only going to proc the speed ultimate, which is honestly not the end of the world because you're most likely on max speed anyways at this point. It's just you're missing the acceleration options. But if you, for some reason, for example, hit no stopping me, and you move into second place into first place off of like a failed runaway or something, you will still get the speed component of it, even though you missed the acceleration component of it. Her strength of her ultimate is, well, the 0.3 acceleration. That's really it. 0.25 target speed is below rate, and if you're just getting the target speed itself, it's not the strongest. Some tracks, mediums, miles, and sprints, most tracks, I guess, essentially don't have a backstretch in the late race, so you're only going for the speed component at that point. We'll talk about that more in the CM viability section. To compare her ultimate with, i.e., Measure McQueen, if you're just going for the speed component, it is slightly weaker at a 0.25 over 5 rather than a 0.35 over 5. And so you're basically, the 0.3 acceleration is like most of the value of this skill. However, if you're inheriting it, the same thing applies. You're inheriting this for the 0.1 acceleration. It's absolutely shredded by inherit penalty because it goes down all the way from 0.25 to 0.05 and still only has a 3-second duration. So you're talking 0.15 distance units compared to 0.45 distance units. You would need 3 of these to get to the strength of Measure McQueen Ultimate. Let's talk about her career. Gonna grab a drink of water. So her career, she has a long career where you basically run the Triple Crown, the later 2 Triple Crowns. You don't technically need to run the original Triple Crown, but her original fans is basically you want to qualify for the Suzuki Show. So you could skip the Suzuki Show, but as we said, there's secret events later and make a new track. You're just going to want to run all the G1s anyways. So you're essentially running the Spring Triple Crown, the original Triple Crown, as well as the Autumn Triple Crown. Notably, you do have to do the Tenno Show Spring and get 3rd or better, and the Kahuku Show or 3rd or better, so you do need some stamina on this character if you're running her in career. Her costume event is a bonus Charming status, which is really nice. If it procs early, it is better than the Hot Topic. It's worse than the Fast Learner, obviously. So Charming status is there. She has basically double chance to get Charming. Her character events, which is notable because you will not be getting Kitasan Black speed card on this character, is Corner Adept on a lower option, as well as Corner Recovery on a lower option for 2 character events that will be on every version of this character. This is not disabled in Make a New Track also, so these will happen. You will get Corner Adept and Corner Recovery on this character from her character events. Her secret events, Step With You, after the Kakuka Show, and after the Arima Keenan, all give you various skills as well. Spring Runner and Soft Step are for winning the Spring Triple Crown. Kakuka Show 3 Cheers, which is the Triple Crown, the regular Triple Crown, gives you Keeping the Lead, which is a discount for taking the lead. And then Surpassing One's Hero is if you also win the Arima Keenan, which I believe probably I would assume is a rival race with, I bet you this is a rival race with Simboli Rudolph. Don't quote me on that, but I have a feeling with the wording of that that's what it is. Will give you prudent positioning. This is all disabled in Trackblazer, so we don't have to worry about this until the release of Grand Live. Her skills, we talked about her event skills. She comes with focus and early lead innately. She comes with Leader's Pride for your front runner skills. Her long straightaways are good on long, and her medium straightaways are good on mediums. And her gold skills are absolutely incredible. So you come with Taking the Lead, which is a ridiculous buff for frontrunners. Not only because you don't have to run the Mahona Bourbon Wit card, but because when Mahona Bourbon Wit, the better version, comes out that has golden groundwork, you can run that and take Taking the Lead without having to figure out another way to get Taking the Lead. Her second gold skill, Blast Forward, is essentially Rushing Gale just up to the max. It is long straightaways gold. Um, Beeline Burst, Rushing Gale. Beeline Burst is a 2.4, target speed 0.35, and while you don't get the cooldown, I feel like having a 3-second base 0.35 skill is, that's about 25% better, right? So Blast Forward is incredible. It is more expensive because you have to pick both things of long straightaways rather than a single straightaway adept, but just an incredible straight skill for longs in particular as well. But I mean, her gold skills are really good for long. For CM viability, in the Pisces Cup, this is really the one that she was built for. You will hit the acceleration of her ultimate on first timing if you're in first or second. So if you pull this character and are a frontrunner player, you should probably run this character because this is her best map for quite a while. When we start getting into the medium CMs, her ultimate just becomes a standard speed skill because, like I said, the late race does not coincide with the backstretch. So you have a chance of speed carryover if you are in first or second on these medium tracks, which isn't the worst thing in the world. It's just is not a 0.35, it's only a 0.25. So she is certainly viable at mediums if you wish to run her. Taurus Cup, it's the same way. Unfortunately, the third corner is pushed back enough that it won't really speed carry over on its own, so you do need a slightly late proc, but it's still a good mid-race speed skill. As we get into the miles, funnily enough, if you're not playing her front runner, corner 3 is corner 3 is in the early race. So hypothetically, if you are in the pace chaser position and for some reason there is a low front runner lobby, like one front runner, or if the front runners don't end up accelerating fast enough with late starts, you technically can PDM break with this plus a straight skill. If you proc your straight skill here, or you proc Uma Stand, and then you Uma Stand straight skill in that, it's just funny. It's not going to happen, but it is technically a PDM breaker. At the very worst, it's at the very worst, if you're somehow in second place in the mid race and the pace chaser position, you would still, or in the front runner position, it's still a mid race speed skill. This ultimate really is meant for front runners. It's first or second, but if you're going to gamble the lobby, pace chaser, PDM break, have fun. The next time where it's another long race is all the way in CM20 in the Sagittarius Cup, and this is the problem. We don't get a long CM until October, midway through Grand Live. So would I prioritize this character if you're not an Oshi player? And yeah, it's hard to say yes to that because just there's 2 CMs this year that have long. And you're waiting 6 months in between and you just have a decent horse in the other CMs. It's just like a front runner option for the mediums. So the true strength of the character is on longs. I think Saiyan Sky Ballroom would be a better pickup if you are going for pure meta, but for the same reason for longs, I just think you can just boost up your other horses. And then again, Saiyan Sky Ballroom happens too late this CM, so sort of a 50-50. Sorry for rambling there. It's hard to suggest these characters when borrow slots exist. And like this is for 1 CM and then you'll see her again in 6 months, but she's certainly good when the long CMs come around. All right, finally her affinity. Yeah, if you like Mayana Top Gun, that's a 39. That is ridiculous. I thought the Nice Nature and Mambo one was high, but in Japan it's 39, so it's probably like 35 in global right now. So yeah, that's a pretty good parent combo right there. In addition, you have Rudolph, you have the new Satono Diamond coming out, and notably TM Opera O and Saiyan Sky. So you have your front runner triangle of Kitasan Black, Saiyan Sky, Ballroom when she comes out, and TM Opera O, where you just keep building these 3 characters in the front runner position until you just get the best horses possible because their affinity is in the high 30s. So yeah, that's pretty strong. The list actually ends up going on and on for 30 pluses. There's a ton of characters, so she is a pretty good parent just for being an engine. In addition, if you're a front runner player, you basically either get front runner or your distance about half the time, so pretty decent parent. So this character, pretty good for longs, is decent in mediums, not much else really to say. She's a good inherit technically saying Ballroom is a better inherit, and you can borrow the other one, but because this is the character you want to run in longs, perhaps this is the better one to pick, and then use your 5 borrows per day on the Saiyan Ballroom to put on this character eventually when the long CMs come out. Otherwise, she's a strong character. In general, she comes with taking the lead on frontrunners, which is not something to ignore. Even in the other tracks, it's kind of like the vanilla bourbon situation where if you come with a lot of good frontrunner skills, it's not as good as bourbon Valentine. If you come with a lot of frontrunner skills, building this character is going to be a lot easier than trying to get it on a character that doesn't give you anything. So, hey, if you enjoy the character, pull for it. That's my suggestion. So, hasn't really changed from any other character. So, Kitasan Black's out. I'm excited for the first anniversary. Take care, everyone. Burb out.